So if I'm tired, it's just easier for my depressed part to just pop in and be like, oh, I'm tired and I'm depressed. Or my anxious part to be like, oh, I'm tired and we have so much to do. Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about sleep from an IFS perspective. My name is Conor McMillen and I'm an IFS-trained life coach. Very happy to be here with you and just really grateful that you've been tuning into these videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can go ahead and do that now because I'm putting out a lot of content all the time. So, sleep, pretty important. We're going to talk about two topics in this video. The first is, what can you do when you are feeling really tired from an IFS perspective? And what can you do when parts of you are keeping you awake? So let's start with the first one. What can you do when you're feeling really tired? So on a spectrum, there's some people that seem to just be able to not sleep a lot and they still have energy during the day. I have friends that they tell me they're tired, but it seems to me like their version of tired and my version of tired look quite different. Like when I feel tired, sometimes it just feels that I cannot do anything. And so on the spectrum, I would say that I tend to be more on the I really need sleep. And so, looking at this from an IFS perspective, I've discovered a couple of things. First of all, it's very real that our bodies need sleep. Just completely separate from any idea of parts or self-energy or anything IFS related, anything even psychologically related, our bodies just need sleep. And so people are different. Some people I genuinely believe need 6 hours of sleep, and some people I genuinely believe need 9 or even 10 hours of sleep. And I have no idea why. This is just what it is. But I have found that for myself, sometimes I feel sleepy or I feel tired, and even though that may be true, there's something else going on there. If I'm feeling tired because I haven't gotten enough sleep, there's a correlation in myself between my level of self-connection, that is how much self-energy I have present, and how much I am likely to feel tired based on how much sleep I got or didn't get. And so the correlation's probably obvious. The more self-energy I have, the less tired I feel. So what tends to happen is when we don't sleep enough, our physical bodies are more tired. And that makes our emotional bodies more tired. And so it can be harder to be in self-energy. It's easier for other parts to come on board and kind of get into the driver's seat. For me, that tends to be my depressed part and my anxious part. So if I'm tired, it's just easier for my depressed part to just pop in and be like, oh, I'm tired and I'm depressed. Or my anxious part to be like, oh, I'm tired and we have so much to do. And both my depressed part and my anxious part will create a feeling of being tired, even if my body was completely rested. In other words, we're more susceptible in a physical state of being tired to parts that can come in and impact that sensation to an even greater degree. So one of the best things that you can do, again, this is just talking about from an IFS perspective, because there's all kinds of things you can do to get better sleep and feel more rested. But from an IFS perspective, this is one that you might want to add in. When you wake up in the morning and you feel tired, just check with yourself and be like, how much self-energy is here right now? Do I feel calm? Do I feel compassionate, especially about the feeling of being tired? Do I feel loving towards myself? Do I feel confident in this day? Do I feel curious about who I am and what the world has to offer me today? So really check your level of self-energy. And if you notice that there are some other parts there, it may be that you have a depressed part there or an anxious part there, but it could be some other part that is maybe contributing to or holding on to that sense of tiredness. It's really attached to it, oh, we are tired, and this is very important, and we need to know and feel that tiredness. Just see if you can connect with that part and just ask, yeah, I know we're tired, I know, but maybe you can relax a little bit and just let me lead the day. Maybe you can go take a nap, actually, and just let me be here in my adult presence, okay? So try that out, let me know what you think. Are you interested in becoming an IFS coach? the self-leadership coaching training might be a great fit for you. I have a link in the description box down below where you can get all the information. Reach out to me with any questions. The other thing I want to look at here is, well, what was making you tired in the first place? Probably some part kept you up, or it woke you up prematurely. And again, this could be any part. Your system is going to be totally different than anyone else's. But in generalities, and this is true for me, the part that wakes me up is anxious part, vigilant part. So a part that identifies something is wrong in life, and then a vigilant part that's like, I need to fix it. And I think that this setup is just so common. What we want to do, if that seems to be, especially if that seems to be a recurring thing happening on a regular basis, that when we lay down at night, the mind starts going, and it's looking at stories, and it's looking at the future, it's looking at the past, it's finding problems, and it's trying to fix them. What we want to do is really identify those parts and bring them out of us, and with a loving boundary, let them know that this is not the best time to do that work. So you're loving them, you're compassionate for them, you let them know that you understand this is really important, and you also let them know that it's nighttime and we need to sleep. And if we're able to sleep, you can guarantee them that those problems will be easier to solve, easier to look at with a rested body and a rested mind. So they might respond to that. They might be like, oh yeah, you're right. Okay, we'll chill out and we'll go to sleep. Or they might not. And if they don't, then my recommendation would be to work with those parts earlier in the day, so that they can give you that information before you lay down. Because it could be that they're trying to get your attention all day long, but you're doing your thing, right? You're just like, I'm just got to do my thing. I got to get through the day. I'm doing my life stuff. And then, okay, I'm going to lay down and I'm going to relax. And then the parts are like, this is our opportunity, right? And they come up and they try to send you that messaging that they've been trying to send you all day long. So giving yourself an opportunity, let's say your bedtime is 10 o'clock. I would give yourself an opportunity at, say, 5 o'clock, like 5 hours before you go to bed, to do some journaling and to write down some of the things that maybe parts of you are feeling anxious about, concerned about, that want to problem solve about, and really give yourself some time to just explore that and just write it and write it and write it. And through that process, continually bring self-energy online, particularly curiosity. What is my perhaps anxious part or vigilant part or part that wants to do something trying to communicate? What is that message? And write that message down. And particularly compassion. So does that make sense? Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I have a lot of compassion for these parts that have been holding this. You can also, in that space, say 5 hours before bedtime, you're doing this journaling, connecting with these parts that tend to overwhelm you when you lay down for sleep. You're connecting with them, you're letting them communicate, you're feeling things with them. You can also let them know, I would like to do this with you more regularly. And my request would be that when we lay down for sleep, that we sleep, because that's a really important time to recuperate, to integrate. And we really need that to solve these problems that you are bringing to me. And would you be willing to just give a lot of spaciousness at bedtime? Now, with any of these IFS practices, I made a video recently kind of referencing this, but it's really worth saying again. There are so many videos and so many books now that are promoting IFS, and that is wonderful. I think that there could be a little more attention on the fact that IFS, while you may have a miraculous breakthrough with IFS, you do one piece of work and your whole world changes. That is possible. I've had it for myself. I've seen it happen in clients, but that is not the norm. This is a practice. So just keep reminding yourself, this is a practice. And so the encouragement is, don't just do this journal thing one time and then be like, oh, it didn't work. I'm going to give up, or I'm not doing IFS right. Really give yourself the time, the patience, and the spaciousness to develop this very, very new, unique, and powerful skill called IFS. Give yourself that time and that space. Just in the doing them, you are telling your system, I care. I'm paying attention. I'm here. And if that's the only thing that your system knew, if that's the only change that happened, that would make a significant impact on your life. But I guarantee you, the more time you spend practicing this skill, the better and better and better you're going to get to it, the better your parts are going to respond, the deeper relationship you're going to have between self and parts, and the more that you can negotiate, work with, heal, and grow in this life within your system. So keep coming back here, keep watching this content, keep reading, keep watching demos, but definitely continue to do the work for yourself, on yourself, and have a lot of patience and compassion for your unique process, because it's not going to look like anybody else's. And if you want a little help doing that, I have a really fantastic self-led program that can kind of just act as this nice structure to hold you in while you develop this skill. So you can check that out. You can check out my blog. You can check out some of the other content that I have over at internalfamilysystems.org. And as always, I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon.